This is the walk around and appraisal video for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX, registered VX06EOU. The car's had just one private owner from new, quite an amazing service history which I'll detail later in the video, and 57,999 miles, so I think we can safely say 58,000 miles. Finished in light hawk black. Car's in absolutely wonderful condition, but I'll go around the car and pick up any minor blemishes of note for you. Come around the front here, you see front fog light and lenses all in very good order, no marks, cracks or otherwise. The bonnet's in really lovely order, only very few tiny little stone chips on there. Going around the side, lenses absolutely perfect, no cracks, condensation or otherwise. Front offside wing, no marks on there. On this side here, we've got the alloy without any marks at all. Front tyres got absolutely tons of tread, must be about 6 or 7 millimeters at least, I thought. Flanks of the car in really nice order. Obviously being black, there's going to be the odd light little brush mark on there. It's impossible not to on a car that's now approaching 10 years old. Come back to the rear offside wheel, again alloy completely unmarked, and as with the front, tyres in absolutely wonderful condition. Come down the side just to show how crisp the flanks are. I can't see any imperfections, any dents or otherwise on that side in terms of car parking dinks or otherwise. Very clean. Around the back of the car now, again all in really nice order, no scuffs on the back of the bumper there. Really nice. Just come down here, you've got a tiny little chip mark there on the plastic, so there's no corrosion risk obviously, it's just because it's a plastic bumper. Just come down the flank again as with the other, it really is, it's kind of mirror smooth down there, it's in really fabulous order. Near side alloys, these are ones that are prone to take any sort of knocks or marks, but as with the other two, unmarked on there, and again tyres absolutely superb condition. And all the paintwork down the sides really good indeed. Wing mirror casing completely unmarked. Front near side wing absolutely perfect. And the last wheel here has to be one that lets the side down slightly. It's got a tiny bit of curbing just there and just the lower edge there as well. And just to show you, again, absolutely minuscule, just a little bit of a rub down there. But externally, for a car, given the age of the car, certainly, the car's in absolutely fantastic condition. Right, coming to the boot area now, as we all know, the Civics have an absolutely huge boot, and it's all in really lovely condition back here. You've got your power outlet up there, 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and it really is absolutely huge. When you compare it to something like a Golf or a Focus, it's much bigger. Helped by this extra little. You can lower that down for a little hidden recess, and it gives you an extra 6 or 7 inches of room there. Right, come to the back of the car now. The seats you can see are in their upright position. This forms part of what we call the magic seats. Really clever design by Honda. This gives you this absolutely cavernous area behind the front seats there. So you've got something like a mountain bike or something, an oddity that needs to be fitted in there, it can go in there nice and easily. Drop them down, really simple. Lever up and down, exactly the same on that one, and beautifully engineered as you'd expect from Honda. Seats back there, all in again very nice order indeed. Alright, coming to the front of the car now, here we've got the driver's door card. Just to explain, the video that follows on from this one, which is a test drive of the car, I make note of the fact that this silver trim was a little bit marked, but that's now been remanufactured. But really lovely condition here. Driver's seat, bolsters all really good. They don't really show any wear. I mean, even with massive mileages, to be honest with you, they're incredibly resilient to it. Passenger seat there, again in really fabulous order. Okay, now so inside the car now, engine is running. Just to pan down, show we've got the full owner's manual pack in there and the locking wheel nut key for the car. Just going to go around the dashboard for you. I mean, it's a wonderful dashboard. Obviously EX spec, so you've got this lovely big, high up, easy to read sat nav system. All the controls there, all in full working order, and all in very nice condition. So only blemish on the interior, a little bit of wear on the gear lever there, which unfortunately if you've got wedding rings or rings on your fingers, then it can rub that away quite quickly actually. Coming across the rest of the dashboard, this lovely two-tier design, so you've got that lovely high up speedo reading. So you know, literally just hardly have to take eyeball off the road to taking that information. Below that you've got your rev counter, temperature gauge and fuel gauge. As you can see there, the engine is running at this moment in time and there's no warning lights on the vehicle at all. Mileage, you can hopefully see 57,999 miles. Coming down here, we've got auto lights and auto wipers on the EX models, and then we've got this multifunction steering wheel which gives you audio controls, cruise control, information display, system control, and any hands-free systems or voice activation that's relevant to the vehicle itself. Obviously you've got your start button there, and then controls for your electric windows, electric wing mirrors, which are all functioning. I'll just press that there just to show you we've got electric folding mirrors on the EX version as well, and they all work absolutely perfectly. So it's in really, really nice condition in here. You know, bearing in mind this is a 10-year-old car, it's as with exterior, there's the odd minor mark, but it's, you know, for a car that's had just one private owner and the service history attached, it is very, very nice indeed. Right, coming under the engine bay now, just to point out that the engine always sounds a degree noisier on the video than it does in reality, because it's very, very quiet here indeed, just the fan making noise at the moment. Really nicely presented engine bay on the Hondas. Wonderful, wonderful engine, the VTECs, cam chain driven, so no belts to change. An amazing reliability record, very, very refined and powerful to use, and they give 43 miles per gallon is absolute doddle to get out of these things. As I'm just going to quickly pop back inside the car now, I just want to show you, obviously we've got the logbook for the vehicle here, just one private owner from new and no previous keepers on the car, so just that one owner. Service book, absolutely amazing. Every single service stamp there done by the Honda main dealer, and one over there as well. So we've got 9 Honda main dealer stamps, absolutely wonderful. Right, this is a video for a Honda Civic. It's a 1.8 EX model, so it's the top of the range car. Car's registered VX06EOU. Mileage at time of test drive is 57,991 miles. This video should hopefully follow on in due course from a walk around appraisal video of the car, showing the interior and exterior of the vehicle and detailing the service history of the car. Purpose of this test drive, as short as it may be, is just to show any prospective customers who are willing to invest time, energy and money to come and see us, just to give you the confidence to know that the car drives as it should, or if there's any issues that I need to pick up on, then I can tell you about them before you come to our garage. We're now selling to the near continent and the extremities of the UK, so it's not just a few minutes to us, sometimes it's many hours people invest, so this is why we now do it. What I try and do is, as far as possible, is to go through the items which hopefully any prospective buyer may go through themselves, you know, the obvious ones and some slightly less obvious ones as well. So starting, as I always do, with the engine of the car. Obviously Honda VTEC engine, 1.8. I mean, they're fantastic engines anyway. That comes as no surprise from Honda. This particular example is a low mileage car that's been probably over serviced in all honesty, but it's got an astonishing service history. The engine is utterly smooth, refined, exactly what you'd expect from any Honda. Starts completely on the button. It settles to an immediate and very smooth idle. No strange noises, no issues at all. It pulls absolutely beautifully. They're incredibly sweet revving anyway. But just so you know, that if you come to see it, it'll be exactly what you'd expect. As I'm running now, there's no warning lights on the car at all, relating to the engine or anything else for that matter. And the temperature is running at its absolute optimum on the Civics, which is normally around about a third of the way up the temperature gauge. Obviously the engine then runs through the 6-speed gearbox and the clutch. So starting with the clutch, it's very smooth clutch pedal, no squeaks, no clicks from the clutch pedal. It bites exactly at the right point you'd expect for one with loads of life left in the clutch. So it's nowhere near the bottom, nowhere near the top, and there's no discernible change in engine noise when the clutch pedal is depressed in or out, which suggests the thrust bearing or internals of the gearbox are in good working order. That then drives through this really lovely 6-speed gearbox. Honda do the best gearboxes by a country mile. Not only are they fantastically reliable, but the quality of the gear change is simply superb. It's just a really slick, lovely, easy to use box. It doesn't feel like it's cable operated as most are now. It feels as though it's direct in, but it's not. So they do a really, really good job of making it feel as crisp and as effortless, but also giving it a little bit of character and a bit of life. It's not like some remember the old Toyota gearboxes used to be, you know, very quick, but they were utterly soulless to use. This is just a really lovely gearbox to use. No noises in the gears, gearbox is silent. Every gear row I've selected selects absolutely perfectly, not a hint of crunching or you know, it just feels exactly as I'd hoped any Civic to drive, and it's very good in that respect. The brakes of the car, spot on. Brake pedals exactly the right point, lots of bite, not overly assisted, which I hate. Just got a really nice solid brake pedal, and again, no hint of any vibration back through the steering wheel when I'm hitting the brakes at speed. No strange noises, which suggests obviously the pads and discs are all in fine fettle underneath. As I'm driving speed now, this is the legal limit, 70. It's a very refined car. They're very noted for that. Well noted for that, sorry. But what I try and do is listen out for, you know, any strange kind of wind intrusions, which suggest windscreen seals or window sills are perished. But it's absolutely, again, as I'd expect. But, you know, there's no intrusion whatsoever, other than what you'd normally expect on a Civic or any car for that matter. Steering, beautifully positive, not even a hint of wobble back through the steering wheel. I can't feel any discernible wear through the steering of the car at all. It's got lovely positive steering. I think it's a brilliant setup on the Civics. It's quick without being sort of ridiculously direct, which means, you know, it gives you lovely direction change, especially on roundabouts or tight turns. But it remains composed at high speed, where if you're pushing on a bit, where some cars can feel particularly nervous if they're too quick on the racks. But the steering, as I said, it's just brilliant. So just going to push a little bit more through this corner just to show you. Just see how flat the car sits on the road. It's brilliant. Suspension itself, again, no strange noises underneath the car, nothing coming back through the car, no kind of hint that there's you know, any kind of obvious wear underneath the car at all. It's in, you know, it rides really nicely, no clonks or bangs or little chatters from track rod ends or, you know, anti-roll bar links. Every switch I pressed works absolutely perfectly in the car, which brings me onto the dashboard itself, which is all in very nice condition. There's a couple of areas on this which I'll pick up on for you, but in essence you've got this EX dashboard, you know, absolute work of art, these dashboards. You've got a really lovely big screen, high up sat-nav system, really easy to operate, crystal clear to look at. You can change the colours if you want to sort of tailor it to kind of what you like best, but it's just really nice and easy to use. You've just got really easy menus here, you don't have to keep tapping away to try and find them, so when you're doing it on the move, it's very simple indeed. There is a what they call a voice activation system for the sat-nav and the radio and the ventilation system of the car. I tend not to use it because, you know, you tend to shout radio 3 to it and it puts on the fan speed up to 5 or something, but you know, each their own. Ventilation system controls, again, you can use them here, which is what I tend to use. Really simple to use. You've got dual zone climate control because it's a top spec car. But what I love most about this dashboard is this, what I'm looking at now. So I've got this 2-tier dashboard. the rim of my steering wheel is positioned so it's in between the two, so it doesn't get in the way of either of those. And I've got this brilliant high up crystal clear speedo readout, so if I'm looking at the cars in front as I am now, I don't even have to look down, and I know what speed I'm doing. I can just see it in my peripheral vision really easily indeed. Whereas on a conventional car, the binnacle's down where the other dials are on the car, where you do have to just fraction, just either nod your head down and move down a bit further, and that fraction of a second can be costly, as we all know. So down below the speedo, got this really lovely kind of hologram effect. So you've got the big rev counter dominating it. In the middle of it, the information display. All the pixelation's perfect on there. The screen's very clear. It doesn't look like anyone's used the scouring pad to clean the damn thing. To the left is the temperature gauge, as I said, which is perfect, and the fuel gauge to the right. Right hand side, obviously, engine start. And then probably the only areas of wear in the car I can really see, one will do something about. The silver trim around the electric window switches. It looks like whoever's had the car previously may have had bracelets or rings on, because there's a few like little scratches on there. In fact, there's quite a lot, to be honest with you. So that'll be removed and improved. Basically, it'll be sort of repainted and remanufactured. It doesn't take long, but it's worth noting we will be doing that. And the other area is just the gear knob here. Again, they use very, very thin paint on these gear knobs. So even with low mileage, I've got a ring on the sort of wedding ring on there. It's the ring side of the gear knob that always takes the wear, and you can see them even with very low mileage, worn down right down. So let's see if I can go that. Let's have a look. Thank you very much, chap. But that's realistically inside the car, apart from a valet because it's not been cleaned yet. I can't realistically see much else to kind of report back. Certainly the drive of the car, you won't fault. It drives absolutely beautifully. Like I said, every button I pressed, including the ones on the steering wheel here, because you've got your audio controls, cruise control, information, and voice activation system on the left there. But it all works really, really nicely. But as I said, given the fact that the car's had, I think we've serviced it now 10 services in that 50,000 miles or so, suggests that this has been a particularly well looked after car, mechanically and cosmetically. It's just those tiny little bits of wear, which we'll attend to anyway, certainly don't detract from what will be a fabulous car for someone. So anyway, that hopefully is the information you'd hope to hear. If there's anything I've missed out on this, or the advert, or the appraisal video, I apologise, but do give us a call and just ask us. But be assured, if you're driving to come see us, you'll be coming to see a fabulous car.